All right, guys, I'm live. I apologize for some of my what did I? Hey, me just do some house cleaning, housework. What's it called? It's logistics. Hurry up. Okay. All right. Anyway, there it goes. Slowly. Weird. Is it showing? I guess it is showing that I'm live because I see someone. I need to be able to get on live here as a viewer so that I can see if there's interaction. You know what I mean? All right. There we go. That's close to it. We're on P today. And yep, there we are. All right. I think this is it. Paste and go. And there we go. And I will share. Does it show me? It shows me. Hey, Jared. Good afternoon, man. It's the funniest little thing. Spending time with family has got me into a cold or flu or anything else this society wants to be afraid of. There's a good joke. I like to tell dad jokes. And the reply usually is, does he laugh? All right. I might have breaks in my conversation because this thing isn't working like it needs to. I apologize, but we work with what we have. So, anyway, today is pickle juice. Now I actually had two for this one that I could choose from because I could have also went pemmican. Um, but I thought this timing, pickle juice is the most of the two things. Pickle juice is the most useful. Chat disconnected. Okay. Anyway, I have some echinacea tea with some honey helping me out, along with I'm already loaded up with meds. Anyway, we all know that pickles aren't pickles. Pickles are cucumbers that have been pickled. You can have pickled eggs, pickled this, pickled that. It's the brine. It's the brine that really pickles the item, and so it's an old food preservation method. I don't know why we usually keep these in the refrigerator, but we do. Maybe it helps. It'll help with longevity. But it's old food. It is an old food preservation method. You can go to any grocery store, at least down in the south. I haven't looked up north, but you can go to any grocery store and find these the ball section. So the company that is very common with canning is Ball, Ball. I don't know the history of the company, why they call themselves a round object, but that's the canning section. And in the canning section, you'll have a pickling section. And you can get the ingredients quite easily. Um, and you basically just fill it up with vinegar. There's salt into it. I didn't go in deep into my research because they come in packets, and you just go to the store, look at what's in the packet, and then you can make it or buy it. But this is one of those amazing little things. This is bread and butter. I love bread and butter. And the amount of potassium in this is crazy, off the charts. People have been doing this lately, and I say lately as in the past 8 to 10 years. People have been using pickles as a eat a little bit. Come on now, I can do it. It's already down. Okay. People have been using lately the pickle juice as a muscle ache and cramp preventative. Runners, people who work out a lot, and they expect to go for a really heavy session, they'll drink this either before, just before, or during their workout, depending on how long the workout is. And this will actually prevent muscle aches, muscle soreness. You know, the 3-day rule. The third day after you work out is always rough, because that's when your body really gets into the healing and growth stage. But same for injuries. If you scrape your hand or something like that, the third day is the day where you should expect a lot of pain. You know, just go ahead and med up, or work your will to power through the pain. But anyway, pickle juice, and as an offshot of pickle juice, switchel. Don't know if I wrote some notes here, but we're talking from the idea of pickle juice being it's almost like an energy drink. It gives you the things that you lose when working heavy in the yard. Farmers, it's an old farmer's drink, and or workers drink. It the one that the recipe, I'll tell you the recipe here in a second. The recipe that I've got of switchel is an 18th century American comes from an 18th century American cookbook. The Greeks and the Romans had these things. Oxamel, Oxamel, which was Greek, and then aquaforte was the Roman variation. But what you do is you get a half a gallon of water. You add a half a cup of molasses. Now, not blackstrap molasses. That's a very bitter molasses. Not blackstrap, but any of the other kinds. I personally prefer honey. I'm a honey geek, nerd. Love myself some honey. I love anything non-perishable. This thing cannot perish. It will not go bad. When King Tutankhamun, his sarcophagus and his chamber was first discovered, they discovered pots in there with honey, and it was solidified, but they were able to reconstitute it and eat it. So I love honey. I love my honey. Anyway, half a gallon of water, half a cup of sweetener, I'll say molasses or honey, quarter cup of apple cider vinegar. And that's where a lot of your electrolytes come from. And last but not least, a heaping tablespoon of powdered ginger. So they were saying the apple cider vinegar would upset the stomach, and so you add that as a ginger, as like a calming thing for your bowels. You just that's it. You mix well, drink it. So easily done with ingredients in the kitchen as you have them now, and they give you all the they hydrate you, gives you gives you the excuse me, need some more warm water, warm liquid drink. Re-up. Let's take it a little warmer. No, my train of thought done jumped the track. You mix well and drink it. And it's food pantry staples that exist today. Oh, that's better. That's better. Is it still? Yeah. One thing I like to do, but I don't always do, is when I get my honey, I also do mead. Mead is actually pretty fun. But when you get honey, one of the things I almost always try to do is I try to solidify it. Now, in this case, I put it in the microwave for a second, cap off, and that's how you reconstitute it. You heat it back up. But I like to put them in pots. Like I love these little things because this technically wasn't a drinking cup. This is what was this, a vase? Flower vase. I went up to Gatlinburg and they've got a lot of arts stuff there. And I love the shape. Comes out a little barrel shaped here, goes in and then comes back out with a little lip. Cool thing about that is you put this was the old Tupperware. So you put a leather piece over top, put it over down, pull it down, put a little leather string around the this edge here. That's the purpose of that edge. Tie it off, and then what's inside stays. Now, not liquids, of course, but the smaller necked ones would be corked and then leathered down, tied, to keep the cork in and to keep it just for like travel purposes and stuff like that. Oftentimes, way back in the day, back when camping was a way of life, because even if you had a horse, it was a couple of days ride to get to wherever you needed to go. So camping was a way of life, and so what you did is you brought ingredients with you, and then while on the trail, you knew certain things. You knew what blackberries looked like. You knew what blueberries looked like. You knew what strawberries looked like. You knew about dog fennel and sassafras trees and things like that to supplement what you brought with you. So today is about pickles and how pickled juice and pickles themselves, pickled cucumbers, can help you in the sun. One of the cool things is this is the first thing you give someone. You give the mixture, like Switchel or even this, non-refrigerated. It needs to be room temperature to someone who is in the middle of a heat exhaustion. My father-in-law, who's a PA, had took me woke me up to, there's an in-between. So I keep getting disconnected and reconnected. And that's everything I see. See you, Jared, your good afternoon, and then disconnected, reconnected. Something's going on in the background. Anyway, there's heat stroke and heat exhaustion, or heat exhaustion, heat stroke. There's heat urgency. which is in between. It's that moment just before a heat stroke that you can actually save someone. And that's important. It's basically a mixture of both, symptoms. One of the things that's more common is the cloudy thinking. So right now, my body's going through a whole lot, so I apologize for my own cloudy thinking. Ooh, oh. I just realized. Next episode is going to be heavy on the instruction. Good. The next 2 episodes are kind of back to back. So, like they Q and R. So, if you give someone cold water in the middle of a heat exhaustion or heat stroke or heat urgency situation, their body will almost like reject it. Their body will like go into shock. Their body will go into shock. So you don't give anyone cold water in the heat. You take them out of the sun. You put them in the shade. You don't splash cold water on their face or anything like that. That'll put them into shock as well. You get water from the creek, put it in the sun for a second to warm up a little bit, hold on to it, let your heat go into it, things like this. Then give it to them. Put your hand in. Dribbles on the forehead or on the head itself to slowly bring that core temperature down. We're going back to that. All right, so air temperature, bags, kit mentality, carving, distance, edible plants, fire, gifts of nature, heat stroke, iodine for water purification, journaling, and patience. Some knots, talked about layering, mental health, nautical knowledge, opticals, and some pickle juice. Now, pemmican, just as a short little thing, this is going to be a short episode, I apologize. I'm almost at my limit, but I'll say this. Pemmican, if you do some research on pemmican, it's the original energy bar. So Switchel being the original energy drink, pemmican is the original energy bar. You would get animal fat, cooked animal meat, like jerky strips or chopped fine. And you can get modern versions of the recipe where you get cooked hamburger meat, and then you put it in a blender. Like you dry it out, put it in the blender, make it into a powder. And then that makes a nice little bar. But so animal fat, so ghee or rendered, cooked meat, and berries. So, and then you would put them in you would heat up the animal fat, put the meat and berries in a bar or a sheet pan, and then you would pour the heated fat over top of it just as a binder, and put it in the freezer. Take it out to make it fast in the cooling. Take it out and then cut it into bar strips. But they lasted a good long while in your belly, kept you satiated for a long time, and then you have the Switchel with you. Those are some survival emergency and old school bushcraft things that this is knowledge that could be lost. Now, knowledge by itself is unimportant. Knowledge for knowledge's sake, I mean, that's like scientists not asking why they should do something. Always ask why. But knowledge for its own sake, without an actual purpose or goal or anything behind that, is good for archival situations. Like, sure, keep it. It might be useful later. Um, but uh, knowledge like this, so I say that to say that I still go toward the old old school way of things. There's a lot of superstitions from back in the day. Leave them back there. Make those superstitions be the fun scary night, you know, situation in the woods. But things that were useful that do actually have scientific relevancy, keep it, because this is before manufacturing. Before manufacturing, we didn't have we did everything ourselves. I want to keep everything to about 30 minutes, and I'm at my edge here. I try to go over 30 at least. Oftentimes I go way over 30, but I'm trying to make that 30 mark. And something just came to my mind that was really interesting. At the beginning of the industrial age, Henry Ford, a lot of people know him as the guy that created the Model T. He didn't create the Model T, which is the first engine. He created the assembly line. He created quite a few things, actually. A lot of people don't like the capitalist point of view, but think about it from this point of view. Henry Ford created the 40-hour work week. He created Saturdays and Sundays off. He created a raise schedule where people get monetary raises in their pay regularly. Before he introduced the assembly line, every part of a car had to be handmade by a craftsman. The world was full of craftsmen. He dumbed us down in a way by saying, you don't need to know everything about a car. You just need to know how to make this part. If I can show you how to make this part, the lid, and that's all you do all day. And I can get someone else to make the jar with their glass blowing and stuff, and then someone else to put on the labeling, and then someone else to fill it up, and then someone else to put the lid on and then put the seal around it. I'm paying everybody, what's that, 5 people? I'm paying everybody, let's say $10 an hour. If I paid one person for 1 hour, they would not get an engine made. And it would be like $100 or more. So he made a very good entrepreneurial choice. But it dumbed us down a little bit, because we don't have to know all these other things. We don't have to know how to make switchel or pemmican or these other things like this. This they call it the throwaway society, where everything's a paper towel. We throw it away, we use it once and throw it away. I use my paper towels probably about 3 or 4 times before I throw it away, by the way. But that's where it got us. And if if we look at things that nourish us from a natural point of view, then we're in a better place. Sorry, I rambled. I hope some of this information was good and useful and all that other stuff. What are we doing here? What is all this? Is it not working? No, okay. I guess it is. So, anyway. not going to sign off the way I normally sign off today. I'm going to sign off with a piece of Buddhist wisdom that we can all use, and if we implement this, our lives become much more fulfilled. Not just fulfilled, but the my sticker. Discipline equals freedom. Now this is Jocko Willink, and that's true. So discipline equals freedom. If you do the things that you say you're going to do, and only change or adjust those things based upon new priorities, or not new priorities, but like the priorities that you already have set up, like this, I'll do this, but it's not that important to get this done. It's good to get it out, and it will happen. I mean, I get it out on the regular time frame, but that's what discipline's all about. So, two things, and they both in the East, they like duality. So this duality is them and me, right? So two pieces of advice. One piece of advice for me: I need to bind up the things that hold me back, right? That's part of discipline. And the other part is clarity of thought. So the other thing is to cut through the lies. Other people may believe themselves, but to cut through and see the honest truth about things. So let's bind up the things that are keeping me out of the way, that are keeping me from progressing like I need to, and then cutting through all the binding that would also keep me from going forward. People telling you things that you know better. You know better than to believe what they're saying, but you still have to follow, play the game. But anyway, so this is the effigy is a blue Titan-like person with flames crackling off their skin, usually on a rock with waves beating it on a large boulder with like the sea waves crashing on it. He's got a sword in one hand that cuts through the lies, and then he's got a rope in the other hand that binds up our things. And he's got many names. Furomio is one of them. He's known as the warrior Titan, the warrior deity. But and you got to keep on top of things the whole time, all the time. So if you see if I see where I need to work on things, because it's easy like anyone else. If I can't connect with people where they are, then it further isolates me, and I can't show them anything. But if I let myself be human, as what society deems is that, then for a little bit, then we can get further in places. All right, so next two episodes might just be either back to back or like 1 or maybe 2 days in between, assuming I'm getting over this, because I am. I want to do that quickly though. So the next one is Q. R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. We're over halfway done. We're actually looking at looking at approaching. We're probably at 2/3 of the way done, approaching 3/4 of the way done. Nice. All right. So homework. If you feel so inclined, go out there, get a half a gallon of water, get a half a cup of honey or molasses, get a 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar. Do it with the look on the labeling. There's some labeling that says without mother, and some says with mother, and I don't know why they use those phrasing, but it's like orange juice with or without pulp. Get the stuff with mother. There's more nutrients. And then mix it and drink it. Maybe you can find a better. And the ginger, powdered ginger, that's easy to get. Anyway, guys, keep yourself under wraps. Tie the parts of you that are tie them up to that keep you from things. Keep and cut through the crap. Until next time, guys. Be safe.